going on, y'all? You are tuned into The Vault. It is a brand new series that we are doing here at Greater Zion Church Family, and I am your wonderful host, Pastor Michael J.T. Fisher, right here at GZ, Greater Zion, in the beautiful city of Compton. And so today, I am excited that we are sitting with what we like to call the mothers of our church.
All right.
In any black church, you're going to have what they used to call the mother's board, and then they got a little savvy and they started calling it the mother's ministry. But usually it's just seasoned women in the church that are set aside to be able to provide wisdom and knowledge for the generation that's coming up behind them.
All right.
And so today we have the mother's ministry of Greater Zion Church Family.
Yeah.
All right, so there's this new movement in our generation with women, especially black women. This feminist movement, this whole black woman liberation movement. And here's what they're saying, that this old message of saving yourself for marriage is no longer practical. And that I literally heard at a panel discussion a woman in my generation say that she felt it was a sin to tell a woman that she should deprive herself sexually for some man to come along and, and bless her later. My question to everyone here is, do you feel that the message of saving yourself for marriage is still practical? Do you think that's a message that we should still be preaching? Do you think that is even practical? Like, do you think this generation can even do it?
Well, I think it's a personal thing.
Yeah,
It's truly a personal thing because it's what you think of yourself.
Yeah.
If you love yourself,
you'll save yourself.
But they're killing us.
Okay, I'm just going to use myself as an example. I married my first love. My first true love. I married him. I believed in saving myself. Truthfully, I did not, but I loved him and I did marry him.
Yeah.
And all of my children is by him.
Did you wait, mother?
Did I wait? No, I got married. No. Yes, I waited.
You waited. Okay. Brother Adams, listen, we slipped past you.
No, I did not wait.
Okay.
Because even though I was brought up in the church,
Right.
I had never heard that scripture of the fornication.
Okay.
And if I had read it, I still didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know it until I got out to California.
Got it.
And I got into the Word. And so now I know. Well, at this late age,
I was a preacher's daughter.
Okay.
Back in those days, you didn't have sex.
Okay.
Your father would threaten you.
Okay.
You would not go out and disrespect this community. You are a preacher's daughter and you're going to respect the community. Everybody looked up to me in the community because my father was a minister. So when it come down to sex, he scared me to death. So no, you can't do that. I'm sorry.
Now, did you make it? Did you?
I didn't. Look, I stayed a virgin till I got married.
You did?
I swear to God, I would not lie.
Wow.
I swear to God.
No. That's good.
He actually scared me.
He threatened her.
He threatened me. And he did. I'm not gonna lie. And when I got married, I'm not gonna tell no lie. And I'm in church, we're not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Even when I got married, I
You
caught
was
the
scared.
flu the same night, and my husband had to bring me home to my mama's house, so he still had to wait 3 weeks.
Oh my
My
gosh.
sister said, you will not have sex till we go get you on birth control pill.
So, let me ask any one of y'all, so do you think that it should still be preached? I love what you said about, it's about if you love yourself, you'll keep yourself.
That's right.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you think it should still be preached, Mama?
I think yes. I think you should save yourself.
That's right. Yeah.
Even though a lot of us didn't.
No,
but
come on now.
Darn, Mother O.
Pastor, I did not save myself. I had 2 children out of wedlock, and I love my children.
Yes.
But when you make decisions,
Yeah.
but I have talked to my children to try and tell them. Now, thank God for Mr. Omeda.
You should want to save yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
it's a different experience.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a different experience. If that's your first experience, then it's gonna be a whole totally different experience.
Yeah.
Right.
But when you don't save yourself, you're
Right.
taking all that other junk along with
With
you on
you,
your
that's
wedding night.
He said, when you want to get married, you do that. He said, but as long as you're under my roof, I don't care if you're going to school, I don't care if you're working, you will not disrespect this household by going out, sleeping with that person, that person.
Right.
Preacher's kids wasn't allowed to.
All right, go ahead. Yes.
I too was raised in a strict home with my father. I left Louisiana.
In order to.
And when I found I was pregnant, I was too scared to call him. 1,700 miles away. When he got on the phone, he said, at least it didn't happen in my house.
Okay.
But the teaching the girls get now is no need for that. We didn't get that when I was coming up.
Got it. I'm done with y'all.
I just want to say that this has really amazed me being sitting under my son.
Yes.
Because if some of us, had the teaching
Yes.
that you're teaching these young people,
Absolutely.
it would be no reason
That's right.
for you
Another
to
way.
be out there doing all that
Doing the
stuff.
things they doing.
Now, this was the thing, is back in the day, when she's talking about disrespecting your house, if you got pregnant, you gonna get married. That's how I got married.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Got it.
Okay, you got married. That was it. When you loved you got a baby. So you really
Right.
love it. Okay, and that's not good because it can sometimes do more harm
Right.
than it can.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
Got
true.
it.
That's true.
So, but with the teaching, the preachers back then preach hell and brimstone. All you
Okay.
know, if you do this, you gonna go to hell.
We'll go
Yeah.
to the 3 right back here. I see the Supremes. They ready. But before I go there, I think that's the message that you all are saying. I'm so glad we're doing this because this is the message that should be said. It's from you guys that make it godly. This is what I love. Y'all didn't make it like, oh, you're gonna go to hell. It was like it's about loving yourself, respecting yourself,
That's it.
loving what you're going to be committed to later.
That's right.
And being serious about it. So I think that the church's response then should be to teach them to love themselves, and it'd be easy to encourage them to be abstinent.
That's right.
Young people nowadays, they see me, they don't really know me.
Right.
They don't know my struggles. They do not know my heartaches.
Yeah.
They do not know what I went through.
Right.
But I went through it with God.
Yeah.
Knowing that no matter how things got, God was going to bring, I said, if I get into this, I says, God, I realize I put myself in this.
There's something going on here, and I'm so proud of her, all of them, right? So we're filming in the sanctuary, and those that are watching, if you are old school church, you're having a fit right now because I have my hat on, right? And two things. One is just that this is a show, this is a taping, this is a filming, and also we kind of like to kind of stretch, right, and get you saying what in the world. And that's why I want to ask this question. It wasn't even on my list. How are you, and then everyone else after her can open up to this as well, how have you been able to adapt, evolve in the changes that you've seen, right? Because there's a lot that we do. I grew up in the same old school church that back in the day just wasn't, like you just didn't do that, right?
That's right.
How are you able to adapt though, right? Because you're not this resistant. None of the people in this church that are we call the seasoned saints, I don't have that complaint that a lot of my friends have, where they say that the older people give them all kinds of craziness and flack. I don't have that, even though I do know there's things that we do you all don't agree with,
Right.
and that's fine. My question is, so how do you adapt?
Okay, first of all, if you're a true child of God, you realize there's change.
Wow.
There's change in everything.
Yeah.
Every phase of your life, there is change. And when you became pastor, I realized that God had to fix me.
Wow.
And once he fixed me, to accept the change that had to come, that was inevitable, if that's the right word, to come. And I know that change is coming, but some things I feel that shouldn't change,
Right.
that will never change.
Right.
And if the spirit is not in it, it's not gonna be right.
Right.
And I just accept what, there's a thing that goes like, change what you can and accept the change that you can't.
Yes.
So, the hat being on, maybe some years ago I would have said, Reverend Michael, I don't think you should have that hat on.
Right.
But who's to say how your heart is with your hat on?
Wow.
It doesn't identify you.
Right.
God knows your heart. So there I am. If I'm going to call myself a child of God, and the Lord has called you to be my shepherd, then I have to accept these things. Sister Newsom was trying to say, I think it's the prayer where God grant me the
Serenity.
the prayer of serenity.
Yeah.
And that's where I was.
What is the difference that you've seen in your generation of young women and the next generation, the now generation? If there is a difference, is there a difference?
So to say that there's a difference, I know also that no, we couldn't wear our clothes short. I said today in the meeting, you know, we couldn't talk back. It was no such thing as asking the elders something. If they told you to do something, you might go off mumbling, but you didn't have a choice to turn around and say, okay, I'm not gonna do that, or you don't tell me what to wear. You didn't have that choice. You just had to do what they told you to do. Now that's one of the differences. Nowadays, the young women, you go to them sometimes and you talk to them and try to tell them, you know, baby, don't do it this way or whatever, and they get an attitude. We weren't allowed to get an attitude, okay? Because if you did, even though you were grown, I was grown with my children, and my mom was like, no, if she told me something, that was it.
That's right.
And I couldn't say anything back. So that is one of the differences.
So many of the young people nowadays don't have parents that went to church.
Wow.
Yeah.
So many of them are coming on their own, and they really, truly don't know any better.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
And I consider that when, you know, things happen.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I consider that, because if they haven't had any training like we did, or like your generation, some of your generation, I put it that way, did, then they just don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Let me ask this question for anyone, everyone. Gender roles, right? So now you see a generation where young ladies are saying we're independent. It's not our job to sit at home. It's not our job to take care of the children. The husband can do that. How do you all feel about that? Do you feel that it is still very much the woman's role to take care of the family, clean the house, cook, or do you think that that was just something that y'all had to do in that time and that maybe it's changed and these new women are correct, that it should be a shared
I
responsibility?
feel, myself personally, I feel it should be a shared thing.
Okay.
If my wife is working and I'm home, it won't hurt to throw the clothes in the washing machine. It won't hurt to start the dinner.
Got it.
If my husband is working and I'm at home, it won't hurt to get his stuff together. It has to be a, you know, two-way. You can't just one go this way, one go that way. You got to pull together. And this generation of the day, like you say, oh, I'm not fixing nothing. I'm not doing that. You better go get you some top ramen. They're not gonna stand in the kitchen and wash no greens. They ain't gonna cook no beans.
No, they're not gonna wash no
They ain't
greens.
gonna do none of that.
No.
So the young women of the day, they feel they're independent because they, got this weave and they doing all this, but they really ain't got it
But
together.
but you all had, you didn't have weaves, but you guys had wigs.
I didn't
and-
wear wigs.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about the generation. I'm talking about the generation. Like the point I'm saying is that they use that as an excuse, like, I'm free and I'm young and this, that, and the other, but you all were young and free and
We worked
working.
and we took
But
care
you
of
know
our
what?
families
I always
too.
felt that my children was my children.
Right.
I'm sorry. This is just the way I feel.
Yeah.
If I birthed you, you are mine.
That's right. That's right.
To take care of,
Right.
to make sure you're got clothes,
Yeah.
got food, go to school, and listen to what I say.
That's right.
Yes.
Right. That's right.
Now it's no argument. I mean, like kids nowadays, I said, go do this. Go do what?
When you talk about the gender, I just got to address this. Okay, so you're independent. Okay, so you've been to school. Okay, so you have degrees.
Right.
But the Bible tells us the order that it's supposed to go in.
Okay.
And if you have a husband, your husband is supposed to be the head of the family.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay, so does that mean that you less than? No.
No.
But it just means that you have a role that you play. And if you love your husband as you say you do, you want to take care of him. It's not being submissive or doing all these things. You want to take care of your mate. You want to take care of your children.
That's right.
It's not like a lot of the young women say, well, I don't see how you do that or how you do that or how you did that. I'm not going to do that. But so you don't love your husband. Because if you love your husband, you're going to want to do those things. Nobody has to make you do them. Nobody has to tell you to follow the leader.
That's true.
Because we follow God. Okay, and if a God put him over that household, he's supposed to go out and bring the food and all that into the house.
That's
Supposed to
it.
take
And
care
we're
of you.
supposed to take care of
Take care of
it.
you.
And
That's
that's just it. That's all. No question about
I say that my generation, we have the training. We just sometimes choose to act dumb. Yeah. But the ones under us, though, you're right.
I was blessed to be raised with both parents. And my mother was like a leave it to beaver mother. She didn't have to work. She wore her rings and stuff and lipstick all day long.
Oh.
Yes. But my daughter asked me the other night about should a man, when the woman cooks, should the man eat first? And I told her yes, because that's what I was raised. He's out working, yeah, he should get the best piece of meat. We've snacked and played all day long. Now if he worked overtime too long, then she would make his plate and then we'd eat later. But as for the women and men, we coming to now, we need both checks in the house.
Right.
So now we got to share that. So what's wrong with him coming home cooking or she coming home cooking? We folding the clothes together. I see nothing wrong with that.
I love it. And that's the same thing that Mother Croker was saying. I don't know, Tyre. I mean, it's almost unargumentative. Like, you can't even combat it. Like, I can't wait. Those that are watching this, you can't argue with what they just said, especially the part that what they keep saying is, if God is in the middle of it, God is in the middle of it, God is in the middle of it.
He has to be.
And love. And that, so what they're saying is that they didn't go into those gender roles because somebody told them to do it. They went into those roles because they loved their man. So they just was like, I'm a servant. Or I gave birth to this, so I'm going to make sure my child is taken care of.
That's right.
They grew, and because what I was going to ask that you completely abolished, which I'm so glad you did, was the argument is, times are so much harder now. And you're sitting here saying like, we had to sift through tadpoles in the water. We don't know anything about that. None at all. I mean, it's crazy. All right, so there's two more questions. I mean, because we have so much already.
Maybe also too, you want
May I
to
tap in?
point out the fact that like the struggle that our generations view as a struggle
It's not a struggle.
are polar opposites. I mean, you got people that they got $500 in their bank account and acting like
Yeah, because when we talked about this, that's what we was going after. What we hear, you know.
That was no job.
You want to add one more?
I think also too what I noticed differently is our generation feels like, because everybody feels like they can do it on their own, there's no ownership, because when you're struggling together, you're either gonna perish together or you're gonna rise up together.
Right.
And so I feel like the problem a lot of times that we hear is that everybody wants to be independent, and then when they get to a point where they need help, it's not there. And it's not like you can just overnight go and
find a man.
Or a woman.
Right, because they're not that easily available.
And then another thing is that wisdom, you can be young and you can have book learning and you can go to school and you can do all these things. But wisdom comes from living.
That's right.
You have to live. So if I walk to you, or one of these ladies, mothers, walk to someone, and if they approach them right, then you should be open to listen. Because they're not going to tell you anything wrong.
That's right.
They're going to tell you from experience so that you won't go through the same thing that they had to go through.
I like what you said, that you know, there's absolutely no reason that if someone does approach you correct, because that's always my generation's argument, it's how they came at me. But it's like, but if they came at you correct, then what was the reason why you didn't listen that time?
Right.
You know?
If another young girl became pregnant and my mother found out about it,
Right.
we could not associate
couldn't
with
be
that
friends
girl
with her.
anymore.
No.
Because at that point she was considered a woman.
That's right.
And I was still a child.
And you know,
You
not
said
cutting you
so
off.
much with
Not
that.
cutting you off, Mother Correll, let me tell you this. My best girlfriend, me and her were tight, just like this. We went to school, went shopping, we did everything. Martha was about 13 years old. Martha started messing with this man about 20-some years old. Martha came up pregnant. And my daddy came home one day from work, and Martha was sitting on my couch. And so my daddy said, "Come here." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Didn't I tell you couldn't associate with her?" But I didn't know at the time, okay? I didn't know. This is my best friend. I can't, no, she's a woman. You cannot, when they broke that friendship up. I swear, they broke it up.
But you said something key, and that is, and we'll close here, that pregnancy draws a line between being a little girl.
That's right.
That's right. And a woman.
That's right.
That's it.
And if you understood the responsibility, then, and I see why, because what they're trying to teach you is the responsibility that comes with
right.
getting pregnant.
That's
right. You're not just getting pregnant. You know, you're becoming a woman. You have a responsibility.
That's it.
And so now your world is different from hers.
That's right.
I get it. And if we were to include that, I think that people would receive the message of, no, just wait, because you're not ready yet.
That's true.
You're not ready. And listen, y'all, I promise you, this has been a wonderful episode of The Vault. Make sure that you guys follow me on Instagram at Michael JT Fisher, and go ahead and use the hashtag TheVaultGZ. THE Vault GZ, as in Greater Zion, and you'll see clips of this show, pictures. I want to thank all the mothers from hanging out with me on today.
right.
Thank y'all for
Thanks so
coming.
much.
We love y'all so much, and until the next time, y'all be blessed.